In this video, I'm going to show you how to do drop servicing. Now, if you've heard about it, then you probably know what is drop servicing, but for those of you who don't, I'm just going to give you a quick overview. So basically, drop servicing is when you sell a service to someone and you don't actually fulfill that order. Instead, you get someone else like an agency or a freelancer to do that service for you. So say for example, you come to me and you say, hey, George, I would like to get a logo. I'm like, no problem. So you give me the money. I then go and I find an agency or a freelancer. They make the logo, and then once it's done, I send that logo to you and I get to keep a profit. So that is a basic overview of what is drop servicing. So the next logical question is, okay, well, what kind of services can I sell? And that's a great question. So when it comes to drop servicing, there are many different niches that you can get yourself involved. You can design logos, you can build websites, but what I do something that is called custom illustrations. Now, I'm going to explain that just in a moment exactly what I do, but first, let me actually show you some numbers here on the screen just to kind of prove that, I've been doing some numbers, and I'm also going to tell you about the profit and the big lessons I learned, and hopefully this video is going to, give you a lot of knowledge that I have learned over these past couple of months. So we're inside of my computer, and you can see right now that this is the back end of my Shopify website. I host my website on Shopify. So you can see that today's sales are 658. Yesterday they were 833. It's all right, nothing crazy. And then if we go to, for example, the first 12 days of February, you can see that the sales there were 38,000, almost 38,500. And you can see that, I was doing 2,500, 3,000, and then one day was even for 4.2 thousand. So you might be thinking like, okay, why were you doing 2,500, 3,000 at this point, and now you're only doing like less than $1,000? Well, this is where the big lesson comes. With these custom illustrations that I'm about to explain, you need to understand that it's a seasonal offer. So you want to think of whatever you're selling as an offer, right? It doesn't matter what you sell. You can be selling a physical product, a digital one, you can, whatever, right? And there are evergreen products, and then there are seasonal products. So for example, gifts are a semi-seasonal product. So that means that they only sell once there is an event. So from the 1st to the 12th, which event was there? Well, there was the Valentine's Day. And, this was selling really well right before the Valentine's Day. And then as soon as the Valentine's Day came about, you will see just how much the sales have plummeted, right? Just after the 12th, the 13th, just around here, boom. And the reason for that is because I had to scale down the ads, my Facebook ads, because they became all of a sudden very unprofitable, and I was losing like $1,000 a day. So that was unacceptable. So I had to scale down, and so far this website has done, today's the 7th, I'm recording this. So you can see that I've been getting a little bit up to scale here, very small, around $1,000 a day. But as I said, I am waiting for the next event, which is going to be Mother's Day on the 9th of May. That should be a big holiday, that should be a big celebration, and we should make money with that. But otherwise, I'm also testing Easter, the Holy Festival in India, and I'm also testing for Ramadan. So with this in mind, you might be thinking, okay, great, $56.7 thousand, but what is actually the profit? That's a good question. Let's take a look at it right here. So you can see that from the 1st till the 8th, the revenue was 24,000 and the net profit was 3.5 thousand. Okay, but then from the 8th till the 15th, the net profit was minus 2.8 thousand, right? And that was because I didn't know that this was a gift thing, and I was just losing a lot of money every single day. And so that's why there was such a big negative. And then for the total February sales and net profit, The net profit for February is minus $600. Now for March, so far, it is the 7th. So for March, so far, it's minus 400. So total right now for February and for March, I am minus around $1,000. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, why would I listen to this guy who is making a negative? Like, that's not a profitable business, right? And there is a point in that as well, but it's a huge progress to be making these big numbers, right? This big revenue will sort of, it's like what, 56,000, right? And be negative couple of percent. It's in e-commerce. For now, at this point, it's a pretty good progress, right? And plus, I want to remind you that because I didn't know that this was a gift, and because I was selling it and I was just hiring people and stuff, I lost a lot of money in 1 week when I was scaling down my ads, right? Because I wanted to get that profit, so I was trying to spend money, but all the ads were negative. And then the realization came that this is a gift thing. So yeah, with this in mind, I'm hopefully going to make a lot of profit just before Mother's Day, just before Father's Day, and bulk of the money we're going to be making in November, when there's going to be Black Friday and when people are going to be buying presents for Christmas. So if you're still here and you want to learn from a person who just showed you that he made minus $1,000 in the past 1 month, but perhaps you believe that there is still great potential in the upcoming months, let me show you what I do. So first things first, go onto Etsy and search for custom portraits. Now, this is what we're going to be selling. You can see right here that there are a lot of different styles of portraits that you can do, right? There's like these dog ones, there's these like minimalistic people ones, and there's Simpsons, anime, I hope I pronounced that right. And so this is what we're going to be selling, right? People buy this as a gift, and it's super straightforward. They just submit their photos to you. You have freelancers that draw this, and then you send the finished illustration to the customer. Now let me show you an example of a website that is doing really well with these whole custom portraits thing. So turnyellow.com, they are doing about $100,000 minimum per month, and that's probably even more. And you can see right here that what they do is they turn people into these yellow avatars. So you can see that, they can select the number of people, the picture style, the backgrounds, and here's where the customers upload their photos, and then they can buy with PayPal or whatever, right? And so this is drop servicing, right? These people provide a service for the customers, right? They draw people into these things. So how do you do this? Like, how do you realize this? Because the concept is super easy, but there are a couple of things that go into this. So let me actually explain that to you. So this website is built with Shopify, right? So you can sign up to Shopify. They have 2 weeks free trial, and then it's only $29 a month. Unfortunately, I'm not affiliated with Shopify. Otherwise, I'd have a link down in the description, but I don't. So you can build a website like this with Shopify. Now, keep in mind that turnyellow.com did a lot of customization with like custom coding. But if you're just starting out and you have a limited budget, you can still do this, but with a much simpler website, right? You don't need to have these fancy buttons here and have a description here. You can have just a basic free Shopify template, and you can use it to just create a similar thing. Okay, so once you sign up with Shopify, once you start building a website, the first thing that you will need to do is you will need to have media, right? So like images. Now, if you look at my old videos on my channel, I used to recommend that you can just, take images from other sellers on Etsy, but I no longer recommend that. I became a good person. So to create those images, what you can do is you can search for, an illustrator, right? And here you will have a lot of different people who offer their services to draw whatever you need. and you can find a person that you like, what matches the style. You can see right here that there's some kind of portraits, right? Or these cartoons. And so these people offer their services. And what you can do is you can send them a couple of different photos that you can find on Pinterest. So if you go onto Pinterest.com and you search, for example, let's say a family, okay? And you can see right here that there is a family photo, right? Well, what you want to do is you want to take that photo, you want to send it to the artist, and then he creates that illustration for you. So now you're not taking anyone's. And you want to have examples of different illustrations on your website. So you want to kind of project to people how this is going to look like for them. All right, so now that you start creating this media, your website is going to start filling up with different images. Perhaps you want to have the banner image on the homepage, but most importantly is you want to have examples of your style on the product page, because that's where you're going to be driving most of your traffic. So once you have the website out of the way, the next and the most important thing is to start driving traffic. Now, in this particular video, I'm going to show you how to do paid traffic, but I also have a couple of videos on my channel talking about how to drive traffic for free. And you need to understand that if you're not going to be paying for traffic, then you're going to be compensating that with your time and energy. But if you value your time and energy and you have some money to spend, then you can. Then I recommend you do paid traffic with Facebook ads. Now, let me address here something very important. There's Google Ads and then there's Facebook Ads. So Google Ads is a search-based advertising platform. You search for a white dog collar, where you're going to see ads for exactly that, right? But in Facebook, that's a social media platform, right? The type of ads there are called interruption marketing. So when a person goes onto a social media platform, he doesn't necessarily go there to buy. He goes there to consume content from his friends or whatever, right? From the things that he subscribed to. And your goal as a marketer and with this interruption marketing is to first stop the person from scrolling and then get him interested enough in your advertising and then actually make an impulse buy, right? So in order to do that, there needs to be a lot of things that play together, right? So you need to have an appealing ad, right, that engages people. You need to have a good call to action, a good price. You need to have, an easy process for the person to actually buy. And all these things need to come into play, and you will understand and you will learn them from practice. But so now that we have that out of the way, oh no, by the way, we don't have that out of the way because you need to understand that these types of gifts, right, these custom illustrations, people search for them on Google Ads, but it's really hard to scale this with Google Ads. So if you want to scale, the only way to do this is to do it with Facebook advertising or YouTube advertising, right? So now let me actually tell you how I was able to scale this before Valentine's Day with Facebook advertising. So the type of ad is super simple. You just have a photo on the left, then you have like a little arrow, and then you have the finished illustration. So this shows the customer what your offer is about, right? So they can turn their photo into an illustration. Super simple. It wasn't a video, it was nothing. It was just an image ad, right? And so an image ad, then you have a compelling ad copy, and then you have the call to action. So for example, like create your illustration, or turn your photo into an illustration, or claim your 50% off today. And that's really it. And I was targeting people worldwide, and my targeting was super broad. All I was doing is I was targeting people in a relationship ages 18 to 34, primarily women. And because those people were in a relationship, and because Valentine's Day was coming up, it was such a great timing and targeting that those two things came together, and the sales exploded. My my link CTR, so the percent of people who actually clicked the ad onto the website was 2%. As of right now, it's like 0.6, you know, so it was 2.5 times more than it is now. So yeah, this is how you do drop servicing. You set up a little website with Shopify, you choose a theme, you add media to your website, you then create a very simple ad and you start buying data with Facebook ads, you start running traffic. Then, once you start running traffic and you start collecting data, you start creating custom audiences with your pixel, right? You start exporting your customers, creating custom audiences on Facebook ads, and then slowly over time you start building a customer base. And that's how you do drop servicing. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you liked it, make sure to drop a like. And on this note, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.